Are you on a quest to find your purpose? Have you found your purpose? Today, we're chatting with one of the authors from this book, Finding Your Purpose, and I'm excited to share her story with you. Kristin VanGundy is one of the authors and took part in this book. And Kristin, welcome, and thank you for being part of this and for sharing your story. So, why don't you just introduce yourself to everyone before we get started?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Sally. I'm Kristin VanGundy, and I am an essence coach. I love serving women in lots of different capacities, creating workshops and events, hosting retreats, and co facilitating. And now just learning to use my voice in different ways with writing as well as speaking and telling my story.
Awesome. So, explain to me what an essence coach is and what they do.
Yeah. So, my purpose in truly helping women uncover what it is that they are longing for, trying to create the lives that they desire. And so, really kind of digging deep inside of our soul and kind of just really listening to what those desires are and how we can create the lives that we want.
So, what's the biggest challenge that the women have when they come to you?
Fear,
Yeah.
fear. Yep, that's the biggest block of what we just don't know.
Right.
And stepping out of that comfort zone.
And so, what's your advice? How do you get people to do that? Because that's
Mm.
hard.
Yeah, it is very hard. Yeah, it's a process, right? Just like anything. Learning how to let go of all of the conditioning that I think a lot of us have been taught to be able to just really let go of what we thought we were supposed to be doing or the things that we thought we were supposed to just be in our lives and really start listening to what it is that we really want instead of what we thought we were supposed to do, right? And it's a process of just shedding all of those conditions that we've just learned to hold on to.
Yeah, it becomes, living the life that you want instead of the life that you thought you were expected to live, right? You're
Exactly.
living your life based on what you think other people's perception of how you were supposed to live your life. And
Exactly.
so many people are living that, that
Yep.
this is what my parents wanted me to do. This
Yep.
is what my grandmother told me that I was supposed to do, and I found myself in that for a number of years.
Mhm.
It was that, you're going to get married, you're going to have children, you're going to have a family, and you're going, and you don't need to go to college, and you don't need to, because the man is going to take care of you,
Mm.
and the ideas from 40, 50, even 30 years ago,
Right.
that were handed down. And how do we shift that in our brains? Because that's
Mm.
hard. I mean, I know I had a hard time shifting that thinking.
Mhm. Yeah. Again, it's a practice that we have to learn to do over because once we've learned that this is the way we do it, we now have to just kind of break down those walls and go backwards to knowing that it's okay and to give ourselves this permission. I think that's the biggest part too, Sally, is women have been so afraid to give ourselves permission to step out of that box, to step out of the comfort zone and do the thing that scares us the most and to do the thing that we weren't expected to do, right?
Yeah.
I have so many examples of it, but truly it's just relearning all the things that we were taught so that we can become who we truly want to be right here, our own inner essence, what our soul is really longing for.
Yeah. Yeah. So this book played right into your business, right? The title of this book just, it was a marriage right there, right from the get-go. So
Very
tell
much.
us about you decided that you wanted to be part of this, and you
Mhm.
decided you wanted to write a chapter in this book, and you did.
Yeah.
What did you write about?
Well, it's been a healing journey, right? We say this about writing. And as I started to think about what I wanted to write, so many other things were coming up. And so like I went back to what was what was my first purpose? Do I think my first purpose was? And it was taking me back to a childhood memory of watching my mom um, just show up and be strong and beautiful through fear and anger of a kidney disease that she had, right? Watching her be a warrior and an advocate for her disease that she had and trying to create um, a community and to build awareness of the kidney disease that she had and how can we pave a way forward for those that are behind us and for those that we hope that we can help in the future. So that was crazy for me to go all the way back to those childhood memories of every single fall. We would gather family and friends to our small little yard that we lived in a trailer court. And every fall, my mom would make a big batch of chili. We'd make hot cocoa, and we would have these little canisters from the Kidney Foundation. It was the National Kidney Foundation. And the canisters would carry one of little Tootsie Rolls and then one of Jolly Ranchers. And we would gather at our home and we would go walking in teams from door to door and we would knock and ask if anybody would be interested in learning a little bit more about the Kidney Foundation and if they were willing to give a donation, just coins, just some coins to
Mhm.
drop in our bag, and in exchange they would get some yummy candy. And so every year we would do that. And I remember the chocolates, right? The candy. I remember the chili and the bonfire and everybody gathering at our place and then going door to door. But as I was writing this chapter, this is what came up for me was, wow, I think that was my first purpose, was to watch my mother gather these people and to bring them to our space and become warriors and advocates for her illness, for this disease that so many people were fighting.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I love that, and I've had that discussion with other authors and how, our purpose changes
Mm,
as we grow older, as we
right,
meet people, as we connect with other people, as we live life and things happen to us, our purpose kind of formulates for us.
right.
And, how do you think that people find that? What is that process of, you know and I think a lot of times people don't go after it,
Mhm,
because they're scared.
right.
Um, so how do we get more people to go on that quest?
Finding their purpose, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of times, and I even say this in my chapter, is people think, well, it's just finding what you're passionate about. Which can definitely be the case. Like if somebody is passionate about painting, right? Then they truly can become a painter and they can probably do that, right? For not only for bringing them joy, but also to bring in, you know, being able to monetize and make it a business by selling those beautiful paintings. But for us to be like in a place where we feel like we're stuck, and we can't figure out how to find what that next purpose is. What I started sharing too is that I used to think that we only had one purpose in this life. And then after that's completed, or if you feel like, okay, I've done as much as I can do in this purpose, then what's next? Right? Then do you feel like, well, now what? And I think that's kind of where I was stuck for a while too, is like, okay, I'm done raising my three daughters, so I guess I'm done. And it's like, no, 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 there's so much more here, right?
Right,
And
right.
so I think it's kind of seeking even the outside sources, right? To kind of say, okay, let's maybe do this exercise. Let's try this. Let's give ourselves permission to try on different things so that we can see if maybe that's what we're supposed to be doing, or maybe we're supposed to be doing this, right? It's
Yeah,
it's being flexible and open
yeah,
to what that could possibly be.
right. Life is like, it's like peeling open an onion, and it's just unfolding
Yeah,
different layers and different layers and different layers of your life.
right.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I love that. So today we're chatting with Kristin VanGundy. She's one of the authors in the book Finding Your Purpose. We want to encourage you to head on over to actiontakerspublishing.com/purpose, pick up your copy of the book. And over there, you'll see free gifts. And Kristen, you have one of the free gifts. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the free gift that you're offering for the readers of this book?
Yeah, it's a 30-minute meditation. I guide you through the different chakras of the body, starting with the crown and all the way down to the bottoms of our feet. And the meditation just really is focusing in on our soul and what it is that we are looking for. What are we desiring? What is it that we are calling in? And just really being able to allow ourselves to dream and to think about what it is that we truly want. So the 30 minutes is just a very meditative way to just kind of slow down and just really reflect and relax.
There you go. So how can people connect with you?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's KristinVanGundy.com.
Perfect. And what'll they find when they go there?
Yeah, they'll find on there that I'm a coach, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, that I host retreats and workshops, and sharing now the story of using my voice in writing as well as speaking and sharing my story on the stage and also in speaking series.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. What do you want the readers to take away from reading this book?
Hmm. Yeah, to really give yourself permission to be open to what a new purpose might look like for you. Um, again, it could be just trying something new, and also just if you feel like you're stuck and you're not sure what's next, it's okay to even be exactly as you are. Because sometimes I think that gets us all a little bit in a frenzy of like, I'm not doing enough. I need to be doing something else. I need to be doing something more. But in the end of my chapter, I simply say, if you ask yourself these three questions, who am I with? Where am I at? And what am I doing? And if those things are exactly as they are right now, when you're asking yourself those questions and you're answering them, then you might be exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're living your purpose just as you are. And that's okay, and that's being fulfilled.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for being a part of this book and for being here today.
you bet. Thank you so much, Sally. It's always a pleasure.
It's so powerful for those of you watching that maybe haven't, like, you've got the bug to write, but you're super scared. Collaboration books are an incredible place to start. And just to plug Action Takers a little bit, I don't know about other publishers. They're the only one I've ever worked with, but they've made it so easy. Like, you literally write your chapter and send, and then it's like all the work is done.
I know.
That's literally all you do.
And then you're connected with all these other amazing women who are like-minded.
Stories and journeys, and yes,
they have made it so easy. So shout out to Linda and to Sally for just really creating this amazing space for us to use our voices.
Yes, I love it so much. That's amazing.